My name is Renee, and I went to Bethesda because whenever I was a baby, I was sexually abused. So whenever I was a baby, until I was, I think 6 or 7, my grandfather on my mother's side sexually abused me. And then whenever I was about 11 or 12, my aunt on my dad's side sexually abused me. So baby to about 12 or 13, I was sexually abused. So I have 3 adopted siblings, and they all came from sexual abuse and trauma, so they actually found Bethesda. I think DHS may have recommended Bethesda to us, and then just through them going, I was able to get myself connected as well. So I went to Bethesda when I turned 18, and my experience there was eye-opening. I don't think that I realized I had things to heal from, or trauma necessarily to even be delivered from or redeemed from. So going there kind of opened my eyes to, okay, there's work that needs to be done, there's healing that needs to be done, and not only with my counselor who aided in that, but also the other girls that were in my group. So every Monday it was for me, I met, and it was about 5 to 8 girls every single week, and it was just a safe environment for me to open up about my story, other girls as well, for us to be able to relate to each other and say, hey, like, not only did you go through this, but I went through this too. So some girls were just getting out, some girls were just starting, some girls in the middle of their process of healing. So it was really helpful just to come in and see, okay, like, these girls have been in it longer, this is possible. Or also like, oh, these girls have been in it a little less time than I have, like, I can help them and aid in their healing process as well. I got to talk to 13 and 14-year-old girls since coming myself, and I never went to my own camp, so I didn't get to experience that. So vicariously I got to experience through these 13 and 14-year-old girls. And that was a little intimidating just because I knew going in like it was possible that I'd be triggered or reminded of things from my past with sexual abuse. But I got to share, and they asked questions, and I got to answer questions, but just to be like, hey, I'm here, like, I went through this, I know and understand what you're going through. So since leaving Bethesda and finishing up the program, I've been able to use my social media platform to speak up and say, hey, this is my story and this is what I've been healed from. And it was crazy to me, the response I've been getting, actually pretty recently, of, hey, like, I was sexually abused and nobody's ever talked about this, and people have been so afraid to come out and say, this happened to me too. They've had nobody to relate to. And prior to Bethesda, I didn't have anybody to relate to either. So it was a shameful topic, and it was kind of an abnormal topic, and I'd never heard anybody talk about it, whereas like alcohol and drugs, there's places and rehabs that are commonly talked about. So I think Bethesda just provided me that safe place of, okay, this is actually a very common experience for many young women and men, and this is a safe place to talk about it. If I didn't go to Bethesda, I think I would still be walking around with so much baggage and questions and confusion. Yeah, and that was just a really dark place to live in for, 5 or 6 years. So to be liberated from that has been really exciting, and to not have to live with that constant confusion that I was living with prior.